Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into the really profound transformation happening in global news media. Your sources show how, rapid technological advancements, these shifting economic models, and even our own habits, they're completely reshaping how information gets to us. It's a huge topic. Frankly, it's a bit of a whirlwind to keep up with.
And what's truly fascinating, I think, is how these shifts aren't just like changing the headlines you flick through. They're profoundly shaping your actual understanding of the world, this whole system. It's this powerful force. It can, bring us together or really drive wedges between us, depending on how we engage with it.
Absolutely. So our mission today is basically to pull out the most important nuggets from your material, give you a bit of a shortcut to being well-informed, maybe with some surprising facts, some essential context thrown in. So let's just get right into it. What are some of the biggest challenges news media is really grappling with right now?
Well, the sources definitely highlight some formidable obstacles. And the first one that really jumps out is misinformation. It's huge. We're talking about a landscape where estimates suggest, get this, a staggering 90% of online information could be synthetic by 2026.
90% synthetic. Wow.
Yeah, meaning it's artificially generated, not human created.
That's incredible. And I imagine that ties directly into the next big challenge, which must be the erosion of trust, right?
Precisely. Yeah. If that much content might be fabricated, well, it's no wonder, really, that over half the global sample is worried about telling true from false online. And what's maybe even more alarming is that false news, it's actually 70% more likely to be retweeted than true information.
70% more likely.
And it spreads nearly 3 times faster. So
Yeah.
this isn't just about occasional fake news stories. It's more like a fundamental breakdown in how we verify reality.
That statistic on how fast false news spreads.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's genuinely unsettling. Okay, so beyond the content itself, what about the economic pressures on the traditional news organizations? That's been a huge story for years now.
Oh, it has. The financial strain is immense. Just look at
Yeah.
traditional newspaper advertising revenue. It plummeted 62% just between 2008 and 2018.
62%. Wow.
Yeah. And that's not just like a budget crunch. It fundamentally reshapes what news organizations can prioritize, how they even survive. The deeper insight here maybe is that the very definition of a news product is changing. Publishers are having to innovate. Like, look at the New York Times, for example. Their successful digital bundle now includes games and cooking alongside news.
Ah, okay, so they're competing for leisure time, not just attention.
Exactly, which has these profound implications for how news gets funded and ultimately how you consume it.
That's a really interesting point about the changing definition of the news product. So it's not just about what's reported, but who can report it, how they sustain themselves. And then there's that other alarming trend you mentioned, declining press freedom.
Yes, that's deeply concerning. A staggering 85% of the world's population has seen a decline in press freedom in their country just over the past 5 years.
85%.
It's a global phenomenon, not just in certain regions, and it has direct implications for the diversity and independence of the information that actually reaches you. When journalists can't report freely, you simply don't get the full picture. It's that simple.
That 85% number, that really makes you stop and think about what it means for citizens, doesn't it? It's definitely not just some abstract headline. Okay, so how does artificial intelligence fit into all this? AI seems to be everywhere. What are its biggest impacts on newsrooms right now?
AI is a massive player here. It's genuinely revolutionizing newsrooms. Not just making things faster, but fundamentally altering workflows. Take the Associated Press, for instance. They now use AI to produce roughly 40,000 stories every year.
40,000 stories annually. What sort of stories are we talking about? And how does that actually free up the human journalists?
So these are primarily the data-heavy, factual reports. Think quarterly earnings, sports results, that kind of thing. By automating those, AI lets human journalists focus their time and energy on the deeper stuff, investigative work, analysis, storytelling that really needs nuance and, well, human insight. But it's definitely a double-edged sword.
Right. And I guess the other edge involves things like echo chambers and the rise of deepfakes. Could you quickly explain what those are for our listener?
Absolutely. So echo chambers, that's when algorithms basically feed you information that just confirms what you already believe. You end up in a kind of filter bubble. And deepfakes. These are incredibly realistic but totally fabricated videos or audio clips made using AI. They can make it seem like someone said or did something they absolutely never did. And this technology throws up entirely new challenges for trust and verification, as you can imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. So this constant evolution, especially with AI, it raises some really big questions around journalistic ethics, doesn't it? What are the sources saying about that?
Well, the sources highlight this interesting shift where global journalists are increasingly seen, or maybe seeing themselves, as global agents.
Mm.
What that means is they're not just serving their local audience or national audience, they're aiming to serve the citizens of the world. They do this by promoting what's called non-parochial understandings.
Non-parochial understandings.
Yeah, essentially looking beyond just their own country's or culture's viewpoint, actively trying to combat biases that stem from their own background to offer a more truly international perspective. It's a demanding shift, but a vital one.
Okay. So, wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening right now? Ultimately, it seems global news media holds this immense power, doesn't it? Shaping public opinion, shaping geopolitical narratives, acting as a force for, well, both cohesion and division.
Exactly. And maybe for your final thought, in this incredibly dynamic, often challenging landscape, where news can genuinely either bring people together or pull them apart, your active role, seeking out diverse perspectives, critically evaluating the information you encounter, that isn't just like a preference anymore. It's absolutely essential for navigating our interconnected world. It's a necessity.